All praises to Enoch, said, who is the Heavenly Father, who is loving kindness to us. Jeremiah 31, 1 through 4. At the same time, says Yahawah, will I be the God of all the families of Israel. They should be my people. Thus says Yahawah, the people which were left of the sword found grace in the wilderness. Why did he say that? Oh, that was an answer to this scripture. Chronicles 9 and 10 expanded Bible. All the sinners among my people. Well, let me continue. Let me go and read the rest. Amos 9 and 10 through 12, expanded Bible. All the sinners among my people will die by the sword. Those who say nothing bad will happen to us. Disaster will not approach and meet us. Why did the wicked people say that? Oh, they made an international world citizenship covenant with the devil, Edom, was supposed to be their covenant. And because they made that covenant, they were giving a false sense of security by saying nothing bad gonna happen to you for doing our evil works, not ours, but theirs. So we're gonna cover you. But they lied to me. Why? The word of God that cannot be altered says, Edom has perpetual hatred for them. Dr. Color Law says, Seal Portion says, chapter 79. I'm already there anyway, I read. Seal Portion, and this is the era I'm talking about that has relevance today. The Seal Portion, chapter 79. The Americans are discovered and conquered in wickedness. The American Revolution was fought under the influence of Satan to reward the rich. Who is that? The one that stole everything from my ancestors, including us. Had to give it all back now through probate. It will come to pass among the nations of this great European empire, when they form from other nations and kingdoms of the earth, the group of people shall travel across the great oceans, establish themselves in the land of my fathers. These shall begin to prosper exceeding in all things. There shall also be the rich among them, shall become rich from the land and the things they have stolen from the land of my fathers. Behold, the American Israelites, they know there's Americans at that time, they called Lamanites at that time, shall be on the land when they're discovered by these great European nations of the latter days. And at this time, they should be a humble people, having their own tribes and nations upon the land. Though the Holy Spirit of Yahawah shall not be with them directly. Why? Because there's called the lost sheep of the house of Israel. They should remember many of the teachings that their fathers began to establish peace among themselves according to their traditions, and the customs which they shall be passed down to them from generation to generation, from the times of Adam. It's going to pass that Lucifer should influence discovery of the land of promise, which filled all manner of precious things. These are the desires of this great and abominable church, which I have spoken. Well, he didn't say nothing about no great and abominable church. All he said was the great European nations, empire. That's what he was talking about. And when the promised land is discovered by the people of the great European empire, they should begin to search for gold and silver, for anything that is valuable to them. It's going to pass that they shall begin to destroy the Lamanites and take from them their land and force them into places which are desolate and void of the precious things that these European nations desire. And the Lamanites should begin to dwindle in numbers and lose their nations. Doctrine and Covenants 57, 1 on down to our stop. Doctrine and Covenants chapter 57, 1 on down. Hearken, you elders of my church, to Yahawah, your God, who have assembled yourselves together according to my commandments in this land, which is the land of Missouri. Origin and history of Missouri. Originally the name of a group of native people among the Chariwa Siouan tribes. From the Laconian word record, that's Choctaw, etc. Century 1700. And why is Choctaw, which really is Ephraim? Why is that the most important tribe? Why? Oh, that's the tribe that means marriage. And out of America, out of that tribe, Adam had a daughter named America, which is also representing this Missouri statement. It was not created by some European or Spaniard dude named Amerigo Vespucci. Or if I correct that's his name correctly, I don't know. But it's something like that. Missouri. Originally a name for a group of native peoples. These are Negroes who are Israelites. Who are also the same Lamanites, who are actually Israelites, the American Israelites today. From the Goliquin word recorded in 1700, said to mean literally people of the big canoe, formed as a U.S. territory. That's colonization in 1812 out of the whole of Louisiana. Purchased, not admitted that year as the state of Louisiana. Admitted as a state in 1821. So they colonized. U.S. history, the Missouri Compromise. History of compromise is a noun. Early 50s, a joint promise to abide by arbitrator's decision. Well, I'm glad they said that. Origin history of arbitrator is a noun. Person chosen. See, when they stole it, Yahawah is the mediator of the new covenant, which is also the arbitrator, and so are the elect, the Melchizedek priesthood. And that's why I've arbitrated in righteousness through his words, the scriptures, through the precepts. Origin and history of chosen. Chosen are now the elect, the select, especially those selected by God. They meant it for Eve. But Anoki's head, who has drawn us with loving kindness, meant it for our good. Choose. Verse, chosen people for the Jews, who are the Israelites, not the Israelis. Mosiah is speaking as I'm speaking his thoughts, which is his word. Because I had no plan on saying what I'm saying, but it's coming out like he wanted to come out. 1 Peter 2:9. But you are a chosen generation, a royal priesthood, and holy nation, a peculiar people, that you show forth the praises of him who has called you out of darkness into his marvelous light. It's King James verse. But amplified. Or the history of amplify. Earlier fitted to enlarge, expand, increase. Large. See amp, large. Or the history of Michael. Master proper name or the name of the archangel, who is like God, literally. Where the common form was Michael or Miguel or etc. Old French, the surname Mitchell might be from the old pronunciation of Michael, or in some cases it might just be from the old English Michael, big. Origin history of big is adjective. Century 30 as the first found chiefly in the writing from northern England and north Midlands with sense of powerful, strong. And by the way, Michael in the story, and really what Michael means is his priesthood, Melchizedek. That's what Yahawah said, I should see my own seed. I'm going to share the booty with the strong. Scandinavian source, compare Norwegian dialectic Bugge, great man. Oh, English using Michel, see much. In many of the same senses. Big came in general use in 1400, the meaning of great size. Late 14th century, as in that of full grown, grown up. Sense of important, influential, powerful. From century 100, the meaning haughty, inflated with pride. This pride. But in U.S. terms, that's colonization of Europeans. That's the pride of Esau, but they ain't got nothing to do with Michael. That's Lucifer, who fell because of his pride. The sense of generous in U.S. colloquial by 1913. Big band, big head, conceit, big business, large commercial firms collectively. That's the corporations. City of London Corporation. They're not going to do a Michael, though. That's Lucifer. Big top, tent of a circus. That's also them in their churches. Bunch of clowns. Big game, large animals hunted, but for sport. That's what they try to treat us like. That's what we're talking about now. Big house, penitentiary. That's them. Isaiah 42 and 22. Let's with ESV sounds like first. The verse. Isaiah 42 and 22 Expanded Bible. These people have been defeated and robbed, plundered and looted. They are trapped in pits. Japheth people, the Romans, him and Esau, the son of the pit. Abaddon, Apollyon, are locked up, hidden in prison. In jails, also they are false churches, they're circuses. Like robbers, enemies have taken them away. They become plunder. There's no one to save, rescue them. Enemies carry them off, they have become loot. No one said, bring them back. Well, except to now. Because you've been ransomed and you've been redeemed and ransomed. The big house penitentiary in the U.S. underworld slang is tested in 1915 in London, City of London Corporation. A workhouse, 1851 in financial journalism, big ticket. Times was so called from 1956, big lie, from Hitler's gross luge. Back to Michael, who's big, much. Adjective, also Joseph, who is the fruitful bow. Ephraim is my firstborn. Judah, Ephraim, the fruitful bow. Much is adjective. Since the 1200, great in quantity and our extent. Also great in size, big, large. That's why I said Isaiah 54 and 2. What was it? Isaiah, let me read it. Why? Because of the promise to Ephraim, the firstborn, with the birthright. Isaiah 54, NLT. Michael, who stood up for the people, to lead them to being enlarged. and get them out the prison houses. And then, by the fact, literally, out of the prison houses, literally. Prophesied in the sealed portion. Why? Because most of our people, I ain't talking about the ones that's really done the crimes, like murder and things like that. But most of our people was in prison for color of law and legislations and not law. That's why they must be released now. Isaiah 54, 1-7, NLT version. Single childless woman, you've never given birth. Breaking a loud and joyful song, O Jerusalem, you have never been in labor. Why? This is the Father's plan. We ain't got to work. But a woman now has more children than the woman who lives with her husband, says Yahawah. Who's her husband? Oh, we talking about the bride right here who's married to Yahawah. Says Yahawah, enlarge your house. That means Michael has allowed you to be big. That means Ezekiel 36:11. And I'll multiply on you man and beast, that increase and bring fruit. I will settle you after your old estates. What does settle the estate mean? Process of setting the individual's affairs and closing the estate when an individual passes away. What happens if a will is found after the estate is settled? If the court determines that the newly discovered will is valid, was executed at the previous probated will, it will revoke the probate of the earlier and will admit the new will to the probate. This would mean the estate would be administered according to the terms of the new will. That's why we have the New Testament with better promises. Origin history of Testament. So now, late 13th century in law, last will expressing the final disposition of one's property. Isaiah 65:9, this judgment and promises. So we go to Isaiah 65:8-10. This is what Yahawah says. As the new wine is found in a cluster of grapes, and men say, do not destroy it, for it contains a blessing. So I'll act on behalf of my sons and daughters, says servant, we no longer bond servants. I will not destroy them all. Why? He said, the wicked might be going to die by the sword, but the ones who found grace in the wilderness, that's what I'm talking to. I bring forth descendants from Jacob, and heirs from Judah. My elect will possess my mountains. Murphy will dwell there. My sons and daughters shall dwell there. Sharon shall become a pasture for flocks. The valley of Achor, a resting place for herds. My people who seek me. King James Bible. I bring forth a seed out of Jacob, and out of Judah, an inheritor of my mountains. Mine elect shall inherit it. My sons and daughters shall dwell there. English Standard Bible. I bring forth offspring from Jacob, from Judah, and possessors of my mountains. My chosen shall possess it. My sons and daughters shall dwell there. Legacy Standard Bible. I bring forth a seed from Jacob, and a possessor of my mountains from Judah. Ephraim, Judah, Ephraim. Ephraim, my firstborn. Lead them astray within thy stumble. Even my chosen ones shall possess it, because Joseph is the fruitful bow. My slaves will dwell there, no longer bond servants, but sons, so their slave is not appropriate. Just looking for another one if I want to read that one or not. All right. Psalm 24, 1 through 3. The earth is Yahawah's, and the fullness thereof, the world, and they that dwell therein. We are founded upon the seas, established upon the floods. See, the earth is Yahawah's, and the fullness thereof. Who? We got the fullness of the gospel. The world, and they are dwelt therein. That's also our dunya. He created both of them. Even though the East Edom did wickedness there, but it was really to provide and preserve wealth for us. He is founded upon the seas. Isaiah 60 and 5. Then you shall see and flow together. Your heart shall fear and be enlarged, because Michael has come to stand up for the people to make you big. And Michael shall help. Because the abundance of the sea shall be converted unto you. The forces of the Gentiles shall come unto you. Isaiah 65 and expanded Bible. When you see them, you will shine with happiness. Shine, be radiant. Be excited and full of joy. Your heart will swell and large. Origin history of wealth is a noun. Middle 12th century, wealth, state of condition of happiness, well-being, joy. Contrasted with care or woe. See, contrast, they got the woe now. And they the ones under, they care a lot. You know, they say they don't. What do you mean by care? Oh, they worry. Our joy brings them pain. Also, valuable materials, possessions, prosperity, and abundance, well-being. Will, W-E-A-L, now, an analogy of health. See, wealth, health, they go together. That's made whole. By 1590s of plenty or abundance of anything. That means everything. Wealth of nations, Israel. To be found in Dryden, 1666. Oh, we're going back to the Act of 1666 now. Sanctified QV Act of 1666, an act for redress of inconveniences by want of proof of the deceases of persons beyond the seas, absenting themselves upon whose lives estates do depend. See, they're being returned back to us, to me, to you. If you're in Zion, if you're the elect, if you're the bloodline of the elect, if you're the natural bloodline of King David. Health is a noun. Wholeness, being whole, sound or well. That's why the doctrine of the law tells you, you cannot be whole without the spirit in the body. That's why our blessings are temporally and spiritually. Whole, uninjured. So you're going against the promises of God. That means you lying and you're going against international law. The Geneva Convention, most importantly, celestial law of nature, and against his promises based on his blood he spilled for all of us. Therefore, you're in great danger. You have need to be worried. Talk to the wicked. Whole, uninjured, of good omen. Hell, whole. Luke 12:58. When you go up with your adversary to the magistrate, as you are in the way, what's the way? He said, I am the way. Who's the magistrate? First of all, it's Melchizedek, the father. And then it's talking about the Melchizedek priesthood. And that's what you're talking to me. I'm the judge. Give diligence that you may be delivered from him, lest he hail you to the judge. And the judge deliver you to the officer. Officers, in Isaiah chapter 60 and 54, also said, the officer should be peace. The officer casts you into prison. See, the wicked, the very wicked is already going to this place. But watch what I'm about to show you. This is the people that have a form of godliness, like the Papists are, but it's also the people like Judas, who was with him. Matthew 22 and 12, King James Version 21. And he said to them, friend, see, this one just knows this a regular sinner. You know, they already know where they going. This people that's hanging with him trying to be deceivers. Because you got to be bold to think you just come any kind of way to the king and think it's all good. That means you've been getting away with a lot of stuff that you thought you got away with. Still portion 35 and 35, and I have set forth for prophets unto all these nations, that might bring the children of Israel unto repentance, that they may recognize their true king, they may keep the commandments, that I have given unto them. But those prophets should know me for who I am. That's why you should have known better. They should be my friends, my brothers and my sisters. So you got a brother or sister who's been wicked, but they among the righteous, on purpose being wicked. Matthew 12, 22 and 12. He said to him, friend, how came you hither having not a wedding garment? That means somebody was comfortable in wickedness. They thought they can pull one over on him. And he's like, friend, you thought you can get away with that? I was watching the whole time. I just didn't say nothing to you. Until now, time for judgment. But now, 9, 105, 12 stop. To 108. Well, 109. And it came to pass that Enoch carved the drawings of Matzah upon a stone tablet. That's why we got his true image. Yahawah. And he kept it safe. He spent his time in Anaway doing his labors in the harvest. What that means? Bringing the children back to the knowledge of the Father in the vineyard. And he kept a safe image of what Yahawah looks like with dark skin on stone tablet in his word. Also, his words reveal what he looks like, and it's not a pale face. And he kept it safe. He spent his time in Anaway doing his labors in the harvest. When harvest was completed, he journeyed with his father to the winter camp of Shelevah. As I looked with Urim, I could see a large cavity, the side of a hill. In the camp of Shelevah, there's a large opening. And there on the earth, dressed very warm. It's a group of elders, Melchizedek priests, of the people of Mahuya. The elders, Melchizedek priests, of those who came to Rashbalah, and also Aliyah. This one, Aliyah, spelled capital A, Yleeyah, but this is a man. Together with his rib, who is called America, because she is the mother of tenderness. They assembled. This is way before America Vespucci from the Spanish. This is during the time of Adam, the first American Israelite, Yahawah. They're assembled to plan the wedding. Matthew 22 and 12. He said to them, friend, how come you hither not having a wedding garment? And he was speechless. No, because Yahawah check you at the gate, at the door, like he did Peter. Because they were trying to make Peter kiss little ass. And he said, did your master pay tithes? And Peter, he didn't talk to Yahawah first. He just probably gonna speak for him, but that's why he can't speak for Yahawah unless you go through the scriptures, as it said. Yeah, my pastor do all these things. Yeah, and then when Yahawah was listening, he wasn't embarrassed Peter in front of them. When Peter came in, he said, "Hey Peter, come here, man. Let me holler at you for a second. Hey man, all the children's free. Be not afraid to check you. Neither am I." Fidel 9 and 106. As I look with Urim, I can see a large cavity, the size of a hill. In the camp of Sheleva, it is a large opening. And there on the earth, dressed very warm, is a group of elders of the people of Mahuya, and elders of those who came from Rapshalish, also Aliyah, together with his rib, who is called America, because she is the mother of tenderness. Telling you where America is at, in Article 1, Section 10. Galatians 4, 26, 28. But Jerusalem, which is above, is free, which is the mother of us all. Well, Aaliyah's rib was called America, Adam's daughter. What is written in Isaiah 54, this is what he's referring to right here. Rejoice, you barren that bear it not. Break forth and cry, you travail not. For the desert has many more children than she which has a husband. See how that goes together with and spare no expense. And I look with Urim, I can see a large cavity in the side of a hill. In the camp of Sheleva, it has a large opening. And there on the earth, dressed very warm, in a group of elders of the people of Mahuya, the elders of the house who came from Rapshalish, also Aliyah, together with his rib, who is called America, because she is the mother of tenderness. And they're assembling to plan the wedding of Enoch and Edney. Now that's who walk with God. And all these are people of the wedding people. And I see a flickering fire, and all the faces of the loved ones of Yahawah. Oh, you got Enoch, Yahawah, all his loved ones, and America, Chesedek priest. It's like a family affair. That's what it's all about the millennium. are glowing with the light of the fire. Isaiah chapter 60 and Grand Rising. And I saw and heard that all the children of Yahawah and Kava, even got Yahawah and Kava there. Only the descendants of Choktan, take the end off Chokta, perform weddings. But I don't read nothing about no Cherokees there. Why? Because they wasn't there. Cherokees are the Romans. In case nobody heard it before I read it. Just in case you won't say I'm just making up stuff. That's why every time they try to associate with America, they say Cherokee. Why? So that's a colonizational term. And they are the Romans. They also, in dark complexion, they're Islam. They're Ismail. One word to Terry, page 32. The Cherokee were the real Romans. They built all the Greco-Roman architecture and the Cherokee Gothic architecture in the Americas. This map of 1810 shows New and Old California and lands of the vast lands of Louisiana purchased allegory. Colonized. By James W. Lee. Have you noticed though, every time they mention America, they always say Cherokee. Well, that's part of Psalms 83, colonizational plot. But I'm reading from the books of remembrance. Book of remembrance. So I trust the book of remembrance over what they say. Malachi 3, 16 through 18. Then they that feared Yahawah, that means reverenced, spake often one to another. Yahawah hearkened and heard it, and a book of remembrance was written before him for them that feared Yahawah, that thought upon his name. That should be mine, says Yahweh host, in that day when I make up my jewels, right now. I will spare them as a man spared his own son that served him. They should return and discern between the righteous and the wicked. To whom that serveth God and him serveth him not. Well, I'm going to read what the books of remembrance say. And I saw and heard, Badel 9 and 107 from the book of remembrance of Enoch, the same book of Haggai. And I saw and heard that all the children of Yahawah and Kava, book of remembrance of ancient grandmothers, one in 99. It came to pass that I sat pondering these things. I can see that the children of Yahawah and Kava, Adam and Eve, were the very first indigenous people in America. Because we are the Americans. The Israelites. Why? If you look at what I read, we literally came up out of America, literally out of her womb. Wherever they spread themselves. See, where we can't after we left America, wherever they went after that time, either willingly or more likely slavery. So for review, Bedell 9 and 106. As I look with Urim, I can see a large cavity in the side of a hill. The camp of Sheleva, there's a large opening. And then on the earth, dressed very warm, there's a group of elders of the people of Mahuya. The elders are those who came from Rapshalas, also Aliyah, together with his rib, who is called America, because she is the mother of tenderness. And they are assembled to plan the wedding of Enoch and Edney. And I see a flickering fire. And all the faces of loved ones of Yahawah are glowing with the light of the fire. Now someone heard that all the children of Yasakad and Kava, only the descendants of Choktan, perform weddings. Choctaw County, move the N, still Choctaw, put the N Choctaw. About Choctaw County, the eastern Mount Country County in a U.S. state, that means they colonized, of Georgia. On the state's Atlantic coast, the county seat of the largest city in Savannah, one of the original counties in Georgia, Choctaw County was created in February 5th, 1777. How did they create it in 1777 when America was already a daughter of Adam? Pooler City in Georgia. Pride, family, honor. Our mission is to ensure public health, that means wealth, safety, morals, general welfare, not from their colonizational, but from our own estates. In the states, convenience and prosperity for the sovereigns of the city of Pooler. About Pooler is the city of Choctaw County. And this is not a colonizational city. This is the city of Zion. For the Choctaw, the royal house of King David from not the colonizational term, but by birthright. City of Pooler, Georgia, pride, family, honor. And this ain't no pale face. Because Ephraim is a fruitful book. Joseph is a fruitful book. Ephraim has the birthright. We're still talking about the Louisiana purchase that they stole, which include California, Arizona, Nevada, et cetera, et cetera. And I saw and heard that all the children of Yasakad and Kava, only the descendants of Choktan, perform weddings. And the wicked children of our first parents did not, neither did any of the righteous, other than those descended from Choctaw, Joseph. Ephraim is a fruitful bow. That's why we talk the wedding, you talking about the bride. Bedell 9 and 108. Edra married the eldest daughter to his brother Choctaw. Her name was Pethua, because of her exceeding great charity, love, and childlike faith. Because she was the daughter of Choctaw, Edra had a wedding. Bedell 9 and 109. Baraka was a descendant of Choctaw. Baraka. Baraka, referenced 285 times. King James translate H21288 in the following manner: bless, salute. Other one is curse, not us, them. The people that's cursed would like the Pappers on. Blaspheme, like they did. Revelation 2 and 9, Geneva Bible. I know your works and tribulation and poverty. Footnote: the proposition of a praise is in this verse, and the exhortation joined with the promise in the next verse. But you are rich. And I know the blasphemy of them which say they are Jews or not, but are the synagogue of Satan. So would it surprise you if Big Michael comes out of Joseph, Ephraim, Choctaw, with the blessings in my right hand? Revelations 3 and 9, to distribute the blessing to the righteous in Zion. And it is very big too, and large. Revelations 3 and 9, Geneva Bible. Behold, I will make them of the synagogue of Satan. Footnote: I will bring them to that case. It's already settled. Origin history of case is a noun. Earlier 13 said, what befalls one, state of affairs, an event, happening, situation, quarrel, trial. The notion of that which falls as to which happens, compare befall. In general nature, the word has taken widespread, extended to transferred meaning, the meaning instant, example. From century 1300, the meaning actual state of affairs. From century 1400, in law, an instant of litigation. It's already settled in litigation. Why? Yahawah, Melchizedek priest, I am one that he sent, Michael, that looks just like him with his same words I'm reading to you, which is the law coming out of Zion. Original and history of litigation. So now, act of carrying out on a lawsuit is already settled. To dispute, quarrel, suit, go to court. Drive a suit. Remember that word drive, right? Is already settled though. Well, let's see what they confess to. Once again, the end of 40 years of European meddling and predation in America. The American Israelites are now free to come home to and removed from. Why? We was already here. What's that? The bride. No longer POWs. They have regained their sovereignty as free, sovereign, and independent people living on the land. United States of America, aka Turtle Island, and the free, sovereign, and independent people